Okay, next we have here your confirmatory test for the antibody testing. So we have here your Western blot. This makes this one as confirmatory test because this test would allow you to specifically identify what specific antibody, HIV antibody, would be present in the patient sample. Okay, so first you need to prepare your membrane. The membrane is made up of nitrocellulose or the nylon wherein it's impregnated with the HIV antigen. Ang HIV natin antigen pwede siyang coming from the serum of positive na patient for the HIV or maybe coming from the cell culture with your HIV. You try to separate that one by electrophoresis. We have here the page, polyacryl amide gel electrophoresis. Again, just like ang discussion natin sa immunofixation, as you try to separate the HIV antigen, the antigen here will migrate, diba? Depending on their molecular size, so migrate yung pinakamataas. Sa taas natin, ang pinakamabigat, like GP 160, 120 down sa pinakamagaan. And after you prepared your membrane, so all you need to do is just to add the patient sample containing the antibody. You are expecting to have that antibody. If the patient has corresponding antibody, the antibody of the patient migrate specifically to each of your, for example, kung ito ang membrane natin, di ba, may mga ganyan siya. So, the antibody here migrate kung saan specific na siya na antigen that would specify here what antibody is present. Then after that one, magbabind dito siya sa antigen na na-prepare natin sa membrane. Then after that one, you need to wash. This is a heterogeneous immunoassay. Meron siya washing step to remove the unbound na mga antibody. Then after that one, you add yung human globulin with your enzyme for you then to visualize the reaction producing a purple band. Okay, so for you then to consider someone na may HIV or positive siya, then dapat any of these three, very important na mga markers. So 2 or at least 2 of this one, GP160, 120, GP4, 140, GP20 or P24, at least 2 of this one, dapat positive siya for you to consider someone's positive for the HIV. Okay, then related to that, na Western blot, we have your LIA, your line immunoassay. The line immunoassay is the same principle of with our Western blot, only that magkaiba lang ang the manner of preparation of their membrane. The line immunoassay, ang ginagamit natin di siya live na HIV virus, but rather synthetic na HIV antigens. So, lalagay mo lang sa kanyang membrane, tapos lalagay mo lang siya isa-isa. Since synthetic naman siya, you don't need to separate that one by electrophoresis. So this one has better reproducibility compared with our Western blot. Okay, the next one, we have your molecular diagnostic test. So this is a pag molecular is very specific talaga siya and very sensitive. Okay, so at the earlier time of the disease process, it will already give a positive result. So we have here the PCR polymerase chain reaction. There are two types of that. We have the real-time PCR. We have also here the conventional method. Okay, procedure for that, first you need to extract the viral RNA by precipitation with the use of your alcohol. Then stabilize the isolated na viral RNA by adding thermonuclease. Then, try to convert the viral RNA to complementary DNA. The cDNA is your complementary DNA. Then, eventually try to unwind the double-stranded complementary DNA of your virus kasi naging DNA na siya. And after that one, try to add the primer. The primer, ginagamit natin as our standard. So, the primer, para siyang pinaka-standard natin, having the known na sequence ng molecular sequence ng ating substance or organism, for example, that we are detecting. In the case of this one, since we are detecting for the HIV, so your primer came from the GAG gene of the known HIV. Then after that one, you try to anneal. So anneal here is just ikakabit mo na ang primer sa unwind na viral DNA. Pag nakabit mo na siya, mag-replicate na siya, then try to copy, and then several cycle of that, kaya tinatawag siyang chain, polymerase chain reaction. And after that one, magkakaroon ka ng sequence of your, molecular sequence of your viral RNA. Iko-compare mo sa primer. So, kung pareho sila ng sequence ng primer, since your primer is your positive na nucleotides, for HIV, positive siya for HIV, then dapat pareho din ang sample natin ng sequence. So, Therefore, that's would identify you na specifically na patient natin is positive for the HIV. So again, molecular test is always specific, always sensitive. Sensitive siya because we're able to detect the infection or the virus or organism here at the earlier stage. And specific siya because again, we are using the nucleotide sequence, the DNA sequence, which is very specific for each of the organisms. Okay, another test here that could also be used for detection of your HIV, we have your immunohistochemical staining. So histo is your tissues. This basically would identifies your HIV antigens. Antigen detects natin dito in your tissues. So ang sample natin is tissues, we are detecting for the presence of your HIV antigen. So ang reagent natin is your HIV antibody. Most likely we have your antibody to your P24, P17, ganun. Okay, so most likely for the HIV-1, this is for detection of your HIV-1. Then you add the agent also na anti-hemoglobin label with your enzymes. We are using horseradish peroxidase. So again, positive siya if you have your increased activity of your enzymes. Directly proportional ang result nito. And next, we have here mga rapid test kit natin. So those are mga test kits which could be purchased over the counter. So mga test kit lang natin siya. So that one will detect your antibody to your HIV-1 or antibody to your HIV-2. So again, this is non-specific na test because again, if you get positive for that, you'll mean to say you have the antibody for your HIV-1 or HIV-2 depending on your test kit. But then again, you will not know kung anong klaseng antibody ang present sa patients natin. Another test for that, you could also perform here the detection of your antigen. Usually, hindi natin piniperform. Pero pag ang antigen na ginagamit or dinetect natin is more of the antigen, generally, antigen for your P24. Yun ang pinaka-dinetect. Because again, the P24 is the first marker to be appearing if the patient is positive for that. Then lastly, we have here sa PowerPoint, we have opportunistic infections. So specifically, we have the Kaposi sarcoma is a tumor, skin tumor, actually appearing on, this appear to be red, purple patches, plaque, nodular skin lesions, usually found in the lower extremities or even in the palms of your soles of your feet of the infected patient. So again, pag nag-AIDS the patient, so they are eventually prone to opportunistic infections, tuberculosis, Kaposi sarcoma, cryptosporidium, and many others. Okay, thank you. That's the end of that.